Welcome to toy-polloi.
Hello and welcome to another video from toy-polloi. Today we're going to take a look at the Cylon Centurion and Cylon Commander from Majestic Studios that were released in 2005. These are 12-inch figures and come boxed, as you can see here. They're exactly the same figure, but the boxes are obviously slightly different. The gold Cylon Commander was a Tower Records exclusive, whereas the silver Cylon Centurion was one that you could buy everywhere. So first up, let's take a look at the boxes. So here we have the basic Cylon Centurion. As you can see, the box is quite nice. It shows a picture from the show on the front of the Cylon Centurion. It says it's a limited edition collectible. I don't actually know how limited these were, because at the time you could pick them up pretty easily. I know the gold Cylon Commander was a little bit harder to find, as it was a Tower Records exclusive, but this one you could pick up most places. On the back of the box it shows you a little bit more information about the show, and if you open it up, that's where all of the fun details is. As you can see here, we have the figure on the right, and on the left there's a little bit of bump about Richard Hatch, who played Apollo in the show, saying how he endorsed the figure. As you can see, the figure looks pretty cool just in the box like this, but you don't get to see the full sort of detail of the figure until you take it out of the box. So let's get this open and we'll see what the figures look like. So here we have the two figures out of the box, and they do actually look quite impressive when you have them standing next to each other. The chrome is really nice, really very shiny, and does look a lot like a Cylon. It's only when you get sort of close up that you notice some of the sort of problems with these figures. Initially they look great, but if you want to try and do anything more than just have them standing like this, that's where you see the issues. They're more sort of statues than actual action figures because of the way they're constructed. So let's take a closer look, and I'll point you out some of the flaws to these models, and also some of the good points as well. As they're both the same toy, I'm just going to show you on the Cylon Centurion, but the gold one is exactly the same. It does look pretty nice, as you can see here. It's made out of, it's a sort of opposable doll, more like sort of an action man, I suppose. You can see here that you can bend the knees and you can bend the arms, and there are some joints on the head and neck, but they're quite limited. There's no ankle joint, so the boot is just posed exactly how it is, like this, which means that you do have to have this stand with them. If you don't have to stand, they're incredibly hard to stand up. And a lot of the chrome bits are sort of loose, they're not really attached on, so you can see that they move around a lot. These ankle sort of gauntlet things tend to sort of rotate a lot, and if we look up the top, the arm pieces like this, these are loose, and some of these other bits are just held on with Velcro, so they do fall off quite a lot. And I've noticed in this one, when I took it out of the box, I've actually had to re-glue on a couple of these sort of belt pieces because they had fallen off. I haven't had this figure out of the box for 10 years, so they've just sort of, or whatever glue they'd used had perished. If we take a look at the hands, I'm just going to move the camera down slowly so you can see here. This is where some of the real problems are. These hands are really made out of a very hard plastic, so getting to pose him can be a little bit awkward. So this is the best I've managed to get him holding the gun. The guns don't really fit in that well. If I take this gun off, as you can see, the gun's actually quite nice, got quite a lot of detail in it, a nice clear plastic bit on the front. It comes with a smaller gun, which doesn't really fit that well into the hand. It almost fits in that one. On the gold Cylon Commander, it doesn't fit at all. And if I put it in the left hand, like so, it again just about holds in. On the Cylon Commander, it falls out. And let's have a look at the head. So if I rotate the camera up a bit more, you can see the head is really nice. It's nicely sort of sculpted in that, but it's just a little bit let down by the eye, which is a badly painted on little stripe there. It would have been nicer maybe if that was a bit of clear plastic or something, clear red plastic, and could even have gone to the effort of maybe putting an LED light in it, but they didn't. If we turn it round, you can see the back looks pretty good. There's some nice little details on the back of the sort of, I don't know what you call that backpack there. It looks quite good. And then if I pan down again, you can see the stand in all its glory, which sort of fits around the waist and is the only way that you can hold this figure up. One thing that I do notice is missing is the fact that Cylons have a sort of metal or chainmail skirt that hangs down to about sort of knee length, and on this model they've seemed to have omitted that, so that there is no skirt on it, which is a bit of a shame because all the detail everywhere else seems pretty good, and they spent a lot of time getting everything right, all the sort of detailing in the chrome and that. So to have missed the skirt off seems to be a bit of an omission there on the Majestic Studios part. If we look at the side of the figure, you can also see that there's a small knife that attaches to the belt. Again, this is a nice bit of detail because if you watch the original series of Battlestar Galactica, they do all have these knives attached to them. Although in the show they're much bigger. This seems a little bit on the small side. It's more, it should be a sword really, not a knife. So again, I think that's maybe a cost-saving exercise that they didn't want to have such a large item. It just clips on the side of the belt here. Again, the gold Cylon actually seems to clip on a lot better. This one, for some reason, it won't fit in the hole. It looks like the hole has not been cut sort of deep enough. So I think overall with these toys, I say toys, they're probably not toys. That's maybe the problem. There's some really good detail, but then there's also some flaws in the production process that let them down. Overall, I think these are actually really nice figures. They have their flaws, but I think a lot of modern toys aren't designed particularly well. And these really are more display pieces than toys. And if you compare this to the 1979 Mattel version of a Cylon, these are way better. That Cylon always was a very disappointing figure. And these are a good thing to have in your collection. I have them on display with a few other Cylons of different sizes, and these look really nice because they're quite imposing. These you can probably still pick up on eBay. I've obviously had these in my collection for a long time, and I keep them in their boxes because I think the boxes also look quite nice on these, and because of the way the boxes are designed, you can actually get these figures in and out and not ruin the box, so that's quite a good sort of feature of those. So I hope that's been of interest to you, and thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching toy-polloi. Subscribe for more great videos. You can also follow toy-polloi on Twitter and Facebook.